All right, guys, so this is me trying to diagnose and repair P1077 on the '02 Honda CRV. Since in the last video I showed you how to replace the starter, before I put everything back together on the manifold, I decided that I needed to check the manifold itself, the runners and the actuator, and then the valve. So what I did, guys, I that the actuator holds vacuum. So you pump a little bit of vacuum on here. I put my vacuum pump right here and pump it a few times, and it holds vacuum here. So that tells me that the actuator is good. I can also hear the runners inside moving. I cannot see them, but as you can tell, it's pretty dark in there. And I think the runners are on this end, inside here. And that's something you cannot see. But you can hear something moving, and the actuator holds vacuum. So if you got a vacuum pump, that's the way to test it. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. All right, so there you go. Pump it a few times. I heard it pop, like something moved, and it's holding vacuum. If there was a leak or a problem somewhere in there, you will not hear anything moving, and it won't hold vacuum. So that's good enough for me for now, for me to move on. So once I noticed that was happening, and by looking at the vacuum lines, this is the vacuum supply that comes from the intake to the valve that actuates the vacuum, right? It moves the vacuum. The computer gives it the signal, and then it activates vacuum going into here to move the actuator. So this is looking good. So if this is good and the actuator is holding vacuum and I can hear them moving inside, I came back to the valve. The valve is located right in this corner next to the runner. The intake manifold sits here and the valve sits right here. The vacuum supply line, this vacuum, hooks up to the bottom, and that's a common problem. That vacuum could be off because somebody didn't put it back together at one point, or it broke off. And if you're not getting vacuum supply to the valve, then you're gonna have the same code. So that was good, because I remember when I took it off, the vacuum line was still connected. So after checking, making sure that the vacuum line was on, making sure that the manifold runners, so I can hear them, and is holding vacuum on the actuator, that leads me to check this. I can also move on and verify that we're getting the power and grounds from the computer, but I didn't get that far yet, because by testing the valve itself, I can tell already that it's bad. Hold on, let me hook up my vacuum lines again. So I'm gonna hook up the vacuum pump. Now this valve, if I'm not mistaken, is normally open. So if I apply vacuum, I got vacuum pump connected through a hose to the bottom. You can connect it to the bottom or you can connect it to the top. It's supposed to be open all the time. So you verify they cannot hold vacuum. That's actually supposed to be good. It's supposed to be open. So that verifies that it's good. Now I'm gonna actuate the actual valve. I have my power probe connected. I got the ground connected, and I got the power supply connected. It's connected to the battery. So I should be able to at least hear it click, and I do not hear it. I hear the power probe, but I don't hear it clicking. And another thing, I can hold the power probe, hold the button, and put vacuum on it, and it also doesn't hold vacuum at all. So it stayed open, it's shot. That valve is shot. So that's the fix. I'm gonna have to replace this valve, and that's the fix to my problem based on my diagnose. I'm going to power up and verify power next here, but I shouldn't even have to go that far anymore because it's not clicking. It's not holding vacuum when I hold the button and pump it up with vacuum. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to show you how can I do that with 2 hands. Well, with 1 hand. Nah, I can't show you. That my camera's not set up like that. But yeah, so I hold the button and pump it here. So I got the new valve. Order it through Amazon. Supposedly it's a genuine Honda part. It looks like it. It's exactly like it. It's normally open like this one, so you can blow through it and it will come out. It looks exactly the same. This one I removed it, and I have to take this screw out, take this bracket out, and place it on here. This one's gonna be sitting right in there. So I already got the bolt loose, the screw. I ended up trying a screwdriver and almost felt like I was gonna strip it, so I grabbed the head of the screw with a channel lock or a vice grip and got it out. Now it's loose, so I gotta use the screwdriver and swap it. Okay, bracket's on. Now all I gotta do is put it back where it goes, remove that screw and place it where it goes. Before I put the manifold on, I'm gonna clean that throttle body, make it look a little better. It's always a good idea to clean it. It's not that bad, but since we're here, use some carb cleaner or throttle body cleaner for this. Don't use anything else. Don't use a wire brush, a rag, paper towel, and the carb cleaner. So I decided to take apart the manifold, the runners on the manifold. It takes 3 bolts. If you look at it, these are the ones you got to take out. So 1, 2, and 3. Mine were very rusty. I didn't think they were gonna come out, but they didn't fight, so that's good. So now I just wanted to see, how they look. If they look all gummed up, if they need a cleaning. They don't look bad at all. But now I'm also going to apply vacuum here and see them, make sure they move, because I heard them moving, but now I can see them. I'll show you guys. So I got the vacuum pump attached to the actuator. I'm gonna apply vacuum and that whole drum should move. Yeah, see? Perfect. So I move all the way, and that's as far as it goes. Now when I release the vacuum, it should move back. That's what we want to see. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit. The gauge should not move from there. That means it's holding vacuum. That's perfect. So that's what you want, fellas. Yep. So we know that this is working. And remember how I tested the valve? And I show you guys that applying power in ground was not making it click or do anything, whereas when I apply vacuum, it didn't release vacuum or hold vacuum actually. So it was definitely the valve. But once I put it back together and take it for a test run, check engine light should not come back. But if you're wondering how to do this, you just see me doing it. 3 bolts, take it out, test it, inspect it, and that way you know that everything's 100%. Since you have it out like this, I'm saying. And here's your sensor. The sensor is the one that tells the computer the position of the runners. Sensor, actuator, the valve that's on the car, and valve, vacuum lines, inspect vacuum lines, and that's it. That's pretty much it, unless it has a computer problem that the computer's not controlling it. This is usually what goes wrong. Either this comes up, the actuator, the vacuum line, or the valve. It is all back together, guys. Make sure you lined it up, because once you push it in, There's an O-ring. Don't tear the O-ring up. Be gentle with it. Lubricate the O-ring if you can. Put it in, line up the holes, thread the bolts by hand or easy. Don't make them tight till they're all grabbing. Once they're all in, start snugging them, going around until you get it. Once you get it, I don't know what the torque spec is, but make them as tight as they were when you took them off. Don't go crazy. All right, let's put this thing back in the car. All right, fellas, so I decided to put the valve here where the vacuum lines are. I decided to hook it up to the vacuums and put the manifold with the valve hanging, and then I'll bolt it once in there, because I feel like I want to make sure that this is on, because I feel like it's going to be a pain in the ass to put it in once the whole manifold. That's the way I'm going to try to do it. Let me see if it works better for me, and then you guys do it however you feel like doing it. Yep, there it is, much better. So I put the whole thing in, and the valve was just hanging there. Now I know that the valve has the vacuum line connected underneath. It didn't get messed up in any way. So now I gotta put the bolt on and the connector. Connector, and then the other connector for the one on the side over here. Yeah. For this one and this one. And bolt everything down, and then the throttle body and everything else that goes along with it. All right, fellas, everything's back together. Took it for a test drive for a few days now, and check engine light did not come back, so it's fixed. So if you like this video, guys, and if it helped you in any way, please like, leave a comment down below. Subscribe is free. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.